Welcome everybody once again to BIZ NFL Football 2019. Week 17 is here. Where has the time gone? The final week of the NFL season is here as we limp to the finish. Had a rough last month. Lost about 15 units last month or so, but we are still up around 14 units for the season. So despite the downtick, not bad for the whole year. As we head into the final week, there's a lot of Week 17 stuff I want to get to, specific to Week 17, which I can't wait to do since my NCAA football is an ongoing shit show. The absolute worst bowl season I've ever had. So I take yesterday off. I said I just don't want to play any college football on Friday. I just want to just relax. And I watched Michigan State cover and North Carolina cover and Iowa and the over get there and Air Force get there. Systems on everything. Like, that's just fucking beautiful. Well, let's play Saturday. Let's take Memphis in the under, as they're down 35-23 at the half. Under's done. Let's take Iowa State and the under. They're down 20-6 at the half. Maybe we could get the under there. Hard to get both of them with Notre Dame at 20 already. Just when you zig it zags, when you zag it zigs. You just can't get out of your own way. But one thing we have done well this year is NFL football, despite the last few weeks. And today also starts the opening day of the Santa Anita season. Gets underway in about 10 minutes. And so I'm going to get through this video, go in the house, play the opening day of Santa Anita, use some of that 22 large that I took out of the Breeders' Cup to finance my play today. And then take my wife out to dinner later tonight. It is her birthday. She's given me permission to watch Santa Anita opening day. She knows how much I love the horses. I've already told her about the BCS semifinal games today. So that's all fine, but we're going out for a filet dinner tonight at our spot. I said, that's fine. What time? She says, what time's your game? I said, well, the big one's at 5. So let's go at 4:30. You could tape it and watch when you get home. I said, done. What a woman. So today we have Santa Anita. We have awful college picks. I've got a filet dinner tonight with my wife. Santa Anita starts. We also have Florida Pete Biz combo plays. We have a stinker of the week. We have a Biz best bet, a Stewie best bet. We have a triple combo, Florida Pete, Biz, and Stewie, all collaborating on a play. We are here, week 17. We're going to end this season on a winning note. And all of you are here. The crew is here. I'm here, so let's get on with this week 17 of the NFL season. There is the yearly record. I want to go over last week's picks. It was 4-6. We dropped a couple units. We are now at 112, 83-4, 13.7 units, 57.4%. Not bad. We had a high of, as you see, 28.5 units at one point, but we dropped about 15 of them back to last month. But let's get back on the winning track today and see if we can pick some winners for the Week 17 card. Here is an under we're going to play. It's that home dog with an awful point differential conference game triggered by the Bengals. We've seen the line drop a point or so from the open. We got more bets and money on the under, which is nice. And OBJ's questionable. I don't know if he's going to play or if he is or isn't. If he does, you'll have to wonder how much effort you'll get. The Browns are just a complete shit show. And I do have a lot of systems on the Browns. which is unfortunate because I really like the Bengals in this game, but I just don't want to go against all of those systems I have. The Browns are a shit show. They burned us a couple weeks ago in Arizona. I want nothing to do with them. So let's just take the under 44, Cleveland, Cincinnati. We'll take the under 44 in that game. I do have a stinker. Usually stinkers are teams getting at least a touchdown. But this stinker actually is -3. I played this game at +1 earlier in the week, and I played him. It was late at night, and I'm tired. I got home from work. It's 3:30, and I said, I fell asleep. I'm like, I'll get this email out in the morning to the fellas with some added plays. And of course, I wake up and they say Cousins isn't going to play, and this guy ain't going to play, and that guy ain't going to play, and the line goes to -3. I was like, fuck. So I gave it out at -3 anyway. I still like to play at -3. Reading a lot of stuff on Week 17 and teams that rest players and don't try. These playoff teams that rest players, they do not cover a ton of the time. I mean, all the time. There are like 5 examples from last year. I was reading my newsletter I get from a guy I really like, Mike Maines, and he just listed one game after another where teams rest players, don't try, and then the other team just wins and covers. So go ahead and lay the points with the Bears. This is one of those Week 17 systems where you've got a small favorite or a dog. Previous year they had double-digit wins, so you have a team that was really good last year. This year they're a dog, small favorite, which means they're a little bit underperformed. As you see, this year they underperformed. It's a divisional game. These teams, despite the disappointing season, when they play divisional games, those rivalries kick in. When they get on the field, all of their bad karma from this year kind of goes away. They just want to beat the team in front of them. If you see, since 2006, it's 18-1-1. It's 28-6-1 in the history of the database. The Bears have triggered this. I said the Vikings have 0 to play for. Their playoff seeding is locked in. And these teams with playoff seedings locked in just don't show up, and they just don't cover the vast majority of the time. They just don't. They've got bigger fish to fry. So we're going to take the Bears, and we're going to lay 3 points. And I'm not going to talk longer as I normally do for the stinker, stretch it out because of this awesome Pink Floyd song. We're going to take the Bears -3. All right, here's another game I like. The Falcons getting a point. They have a lot of Week 7 systems that they triggered. They are at Tampa Bay with that interception machine known as Jameis Winston. We got that under last Saturday with the Colts, or not the Colts, the Texans. The Texans and the Buccaneers last Saturday. We got that under when they scored a ton by halftime. They really slowed down after, and we got a push also. Several Week 17 systems right here, as you can see, triggered. There's that same one at the bottom of the M17. That is the same one that just was triggered on the Bears. We also have a Week 17 favorite or a dog of less than a touchdown. That is a losing team. They have 1 to 3 wins less than their opponent. So they're right behind them in the standings. They're a losing team. That's 21-3. We have one that's similar, a Week 17 team with the line that's within around 6 points a pick. They have a worse win percentage than the team they're playing. They do have at least 5 wins. The previous week they scored less than 27. It's 24-2. And we have another Week 17 system that is undefeated, 26-0. It's that same favorite dog of less than a touchdown. They have a winning percentage of 50% or less, so they're a losing team. And they're one game behind their opponent. That was some auto spell check thing that I didn't fix. They're 1 game behind their opponent. They average less than 3 sacks a game. Turnover margin less than 1. It's a divisional game. It's 26-0. So the Falcons trigger a variety of Week 17 systems, and we're on them. They've been playing really well lately. Looks like their coach and GM are going to keep their job. I think it was reported this week that they're going nowhere. So I'm sure they want to build some momentum for next year, and we like the Falcons. I hate when people say we, like they've got some kind of syndicate of people that they collaborated as if some massive think tank Got you this play. No, I like Atlanta. +1. Saints, Carolina under 47. I think this is now at about 45.5, 45. I gave it out earlier this week, so if you didn't get on, if you're not on my list, you're going to get this 45 at whatever it is. I didn't write every system down because this game just littered my board with system after system on the under. There are the records of the systems. There's about 10 of them. There are the records for this year for those systems. Some of them are about 50-50. Some of them are pretty good. But whatever the case is, we're going to play the Saints and Panthers under 47. We had the Panthers last week with Will Grier, their third-string quarterback. I incorrectly thought that they would do something, and they didn't. Now they're back home. Last game of the season. Rivera's gone. Interim coach. I just don't see the Saints need this win to secure some playoff seeding, and I just don't see why this game would be any different this week than last week with the third-string rookie quarterback, a team that's pretty much got nothing to play for. We'll take the under in this game. The Panther offense was horrific last week, and I don't see why it would be any better this week. So we'll take the Saints-Panthers, go under 47. Here's another game where you got a team that's locked up a playoff berth, a playoff seed. They cannot improve their playoff seeding. The Buffalo Bills. They're resting players. They've got a game next week. There's no reason for them to play a bunch of starters any significant minutes. This is at Buffalo. The Jets are getting 1.5. Excuse me. This also triggers that Week 17 system we talked about. What I like about that system is got a really nice healthy sample size of 96 and 36, and it's 33 and 13 over the last 12 years. And there's another Week 17 system. You got a road team with a worse win percentage. The Jets, they've got 5 or more wins, and they're a dog up to a touchdown, or a favorite to -4. It's 50 and 19 in the database history. It's 24 and 6 since 2004. We're going to take the Jets +1.5. They played Buffalo really tough opening week. I think that was the week they gave up some defensive touchdowns, if I remember correctly. I don't see where Josh Allen's going to have a lot of time to play in this game. I really thought about taking the over in this game. I got a nice over system, but it is supposed to rain this weekend. I might actually add that over to the playlist. Check my Twitter today or tomorrow. I might decide to play that over anyway, but we're going to take the Jets +1.5. Again, Bills, nothing to play for. If they lose this game, it means absolutely nothing. So we're going to take the Jets +1.5 against the Bills. Dolphins, Dolphins, New England under 45. We have a late season big favorite. That is 24 and 5 to the under. It's 16 and 1 its last 17 games. A big favorite with a total of less than 46 late in the season. His total is 45. The Dolphins are 16-point dogs. We have also a favorite in the divisional game of a touchdown or more. They were previously a home favorite in this system. It has to do with time of possession, turnovers forced, opponents rushing first downs. It's an artificial surface game. It's 26-0. It's 3-0 this year. We'll take the Dolphins in New England to go under 45. That New England defense very tough at home. We'll take the under 45. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, another under 37. You see, we have a team that was previously a road favorite that turned it over quite a few times in that game. Both teams are not off when it's a divisional game. That would be the Steelers that trigger this. It's 77-27. It's 3-1 this year, and it's 28 of the last 29 times this has been triggered. It's gone under. Also, Tomlin, when they're a road favorite, when the Steelers are a road favorite under Tomlin, they go under a ton. 23 and 5, 3-0 this year. We had the under in Arizona. The under hit last week at New York. And when Tomlin is a road favorite, his teams go under. They have a great defense. Baltimore is resting players. No Lamar Jackson. Pittsburgh's offense has been horrific. They can't score. I see this as a low-scoring slugfest, and we're going to take Pittsburgh-Baltimore to go under the total of 37. Denver laying 3 against my Raiders. Everybody wants to say, oh, the Raiders, they have an outside shot at the playoffs. They'll be motivated. That game last week gave them some confidence, on and on. Look, I've watched this team forever. Where was this sense of urgency when they went to New York and got pounded by the Jets 34-3? Where was this sense of urgency when they went to Kansas City and got pounded by the Chiefs 40-9? Where is the sense of urgency when they had their last home game and they got a 2-touchdown lead against Jacksonville and they give it up in the last quarter to lose? So they go to LA to play the Chargers with a stadium filled with Raider fans, like as it always is, whether it's San Diego or LA. Raider fans just fill the stadium against a team that they usually played pretty well against recently, against a team that's struggling, the Chargers, and they beat them 24-17, I think the final was. So that's the all-important game we want to focus on, and let's ignore the 3 previous games. Look, Denver would like nothing more than to just take these guys out of their misery. Derek Carr, his cold weather record is horrific. It's like 1-9 when he's less than 35 degrees. So it's going to be in the 20s, I think, maybe low 30s, high 20s. I think Josh Jacobs is out. Trent Brown, the lineman, is out. Denver's still playing hard. They're still trying. They've got a really solid defense. We've got a couple of Week 17 systems. You see the M17 again down there, the one that's 96-36. That one's triggered. And also the one that's 21-3 that's triggered earlier, the Week 17 favorite dog. It's a losing team with 1-3 less wins than their opponent. That's triggered in this game also. I just think Denver wins this by at least a touchdown. I really like Denver in this game. I'm not buying into this Raiders have a shot at the playoffs. They're going to come with some renewed vigor, and they're going to give it their all and win this game. Look, they should have done that 3-2 1 week ago. Well, prior to the Chargers, the 3 games prior to the Chargers, where the hell were they? No, give me the Broncos laying 3. Basically they're telling you that these teams are even. Okay, you give the Denver the 3-point home field advantage. So the linemen are saying, these teams are even. Yeah, the Raiders may be fighting for a playoff spot, but they're no better than the Broncos. Give me the Broncos. All right, Seahawks getting 3.5. Again, there's a couple more Week 17 systems. It's the same one, that one that's 96-36. Seattle has triggered that one. And also that one where that's 24-2. You've seen, I've listed these Week 17s over and over in this presentation. I'm not going to just keep repeating the same system, but Seattle triggers 2 of them. That line went to, it was like Niners -3, heavily juiced. So buy the hook, and you could probably get it for like -110. I'll buy that hook. This line, to me, is an overreaction to the injuries of Seattle. I know their tackle is missing, which doesn't help their pass protection. Of course, their running back situation is a mess. Carson hurt his hip. He's out for the season. Penny hurt, I think, ACL the previous week. CJ Prosise broke his arm. So they're down to like guys off the street, such as Marshawn Lynch, who they just signed. They got a practice squad guy that they're going to stick in there. And, yes, you would like to have an experienced running back, but I don't think that is as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. You just need a guy to be functional for one game, and I think that this is an overreaction. So what you're telling me is that if this game were in San Francisco, that the Niners would be like a 9.5-point favorite. I don't see that. I think this is an overreaction. I think this is a field goal game. I'll take Seattle with the 3.5. They are great in prime time. Russell Wilson is great in prime time. They get up for these prime time games. The Niners are dinged up themselves. They lost another defensive lineman this week. Their center is out for the year. They have their share of injuries too. And so I'll take the Seahawks getting a 3.5. I'll take 3 in the hook on that Sunday night flex game that's in prime time. It's going to be a great game. I'll take Seattle, and I'll take the 3.5 points. We're also taking the under in this game, under 47. We are taking the under when the home team was off a 2 touchdown loss as a favorite. This is 25-40 the under. This year it's 6-0. It's hit 6 times this year, and when it's a divisional game, it's gone 14-1 to the under. So We're going to take San Francisco, Seattle to go under the total of 47. I looked at my phone, and Notre Dame has scored again in the first 3 minutes of the second half. And so, it actually took them a whole minute, because the first play of the second half, they go 84 yards for a touchdown. So, looks like my college football is continuing to just be putrid. If I had any brains, I probably would have just taken the second half over and just pushed it instead of taking another loss on that. Okay, I digress. So, we'll take the Niners and Seahawks under 47. I'm going to play one teaser this week, and I got the BIZ right here. BIZ is now special guest right here, the BIZ. Right here. We're going to take Tennessee plus a half. I'm going to tease the Jets up to 7.5. Again, Buffalo's got nothing to play for. I talked about that game. I can't see the Jets losing by more than a touchdown against a team that has absolutely nothing to play for. We're going to take Tennessee. Again, the Texans also are locked into a playoff spot. Now, Bill O'Brien, who I'm no fan of, he says he's going to play his starters, and they're going to play some significant bullshit. If this guy plays his starters any significant minutes, he should be fired as soon as the playoffs are over. No, as soon as the playoffs are over, he should be fired. No, your starter should not play a lick. This is a spot, as I mentioned, where you have one team fighting for the playoffs and the other team with nothing to play for. So give me Tennessee. I think they win the game. I don't want to have anything to do with the 5.5 spread, but I'll tease them to a half. Basically, we just need Tennessee to win this game, and there's no reason they shouldn't if they can't win this game with Houston not trying. And the Jets. So that's the one teaser I want to play this week. Tennessee to win the game plus a half, and the Jets plus 7.5. All right. There's the playlist. In the morning, we got the Browns and Bengals under 44. Whoever watches that game has large money on the game or somebody's parent. Just an absolute garbage game. Bears laying the 3 against a Viking team that should be completely uninterested. Excuse me. Resting starters, resting a lot of people. Falcons, lots of Week 17 systems against the turnover machine that is Jameis Winston. Saints, Panthers under 47. The Jets getting 1.5. And that Dolphin Patriot under 45. In the afternoon, Pittsburgh and the Ravens under 37 in that game that is one of those heated rivalries in the NFL. I don't care if Baltimore's got a spot locked up. There's nothing they would like more than to beat Pittsburgh. So we'll take that Pittsburgh Raven under 37. Got the Tomlin road favorite angle working also. Denver minus 3. You know my thoughts on the Raiders. Denver puts them out of their misery. Seattle 3 in the hook with the under 47. And we got that teaser going. Tennessee and the Jets. Alright, so that sets us up for our best bets and combo plays. And we start off with the Florida Pete Biz combo play. I said, Pete, what's up? He says, give me the Falcons. I love them. He says, I like them too. We take Atlanta plus 1 as the Florida Pete Biz combo play. These have been phenomenal this year. We did lose Tennessee last week, where Tennessee guy gets targeted, knocked unconscious, passed down to the 40, he fumbles. They're going in to tie it or take the lead. That's a play that's been called targeting the entire year. But they decided to not call it last week. I don't know if it was the Saints or what, but tough break. We lost it. We'll take the Falcons plus 1 as our Florida Pete Biz combo play of the week. Next, our fresh best bets. Biz likes the Saints and Panthers to go under 47 with those multiple systems going under. Biz watched the Panthers a few times last week for a few plays, saw Will Grier and said, Jesus Christ, I'm blind and I could see that this guy sucks. So Biz said, give me the Saints Panthers under 47. Stewie said, give me those Steelers Ravens under 37. Sees a slugfest. Sees a game that should be low scoring and physical, and he likes that under 37. So those are our two best bets. A couple of underplays for you from Biz and Stewie. 2-unit best bets. And for our triple combo play, everybody's in on this one. Florida Pete, the Biz, Stewie, me. We like Denver -3 to end the Raiders season. To just put a bullet in them. To end their misery. Much like somebody should put a bullet into my NCAA football bowl selections, which have been as miserable as anything I can remember. By the way, I watched Uncut Gems last night with my wife, the Adam Sandler movie. Speaking of gambling, and I need to stretch this screen out because we've got one of the greatest songs of all time playing right now. Watched Uncut Gems last night. Good movie, not great movie. I've heard people say, oh, Sandler should be up for an Oscar. What a great movie, this, that, and the other. It was a solid movie, but back off on all of the accolades. My wife said, I'm glad you didn't go to the movies and watch this. I'm like, yeah, maybe, but I said it was okay. Watch it on the Fire Stick. If you don't have a Fire Stick, I don't know what you're doing. If you watch sports, you watch movies, you watch TV shows, you subscribe to HBO or Showtime or any pay channel, you must like giving away your money. You got to get a Fire Stick. Get these apps. Watch this stuff at no charge. And that's what we did last night. Watched Uncut Gems. Bad. Not bad. Not great. Not bad. Wasn't a waste of time. It was about a 2-hour and 10-minute movie. I wouldn't watch it again. I wouldn't say, oh, wow, like, it was not Heat. It's not The Godfather. It's not Goodfellas. I've watched those movies 100+ times. I wouldn't watch this one again. I just, it was interesting, but not a bad movie. So, Florida Pete, Biz, Stewie, combo play. Denver, -3. You know why I'm pausing. It's been such a long time since I picked a bowl winner, I know that. These guys, I'm just going to say this right now. If you don't like this song, shut my shit down and never come back. That's an order. Some of you might be saying, yeah, well, you're down for the last month. We don't want to come back. Yeah, well, fuck you. This song, top 10 song of all time. If I'm on a desert island and they said, dude, you got to take 10 songs with you and you can only listen to these 10 songs for the rest of your life, here's one of them. This one. Even though the name of the band is named after a city whose sports teams I absolutely loathe, the band rocks. All right. Memphis just scored a touchdown, 35-30. All right, let's move on. That is my contact information. biz112763@gmail.com is my email. One on my daily distribution list, which lost a couple units last night. Get a hold of me. Twitter, BIZ Winners, at BIZ Winners is where I give updated plays and whatnot. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. Not many of you like it because I get like maybe 6 thumbs up a week out of over 100 views. So, you know, unless your thumb is up your ass, hit the thumbs up and spread the word. Say, hey, this guy BIZ, he sucks right now in the NFL. He's lost a bunch last month, but he's really good anyway. He's up about 14 units. He's at 57%. Good luck finding somebody else that's doing that. NBA, college basketball, hockey. I got it for you. And of course, NFL playoffs. Next week, the NFL playoffs start. I will have a video out. Looking forward to that. Last year we had a very nice playoff season last year. Playoffs, I usually do pretty well. Of course, I can say that about my bowls, and this year I suck at those. But looking forward to the NFL playoffs. I got some good stuff for the playoffs. Obviously a very small card on these playoff weekends, so we have a chance to really dive into these games and break them down, and looking forward to that. So don't forget to look for my NFL playoff video next week. Again, if you want to get on my list, there's my email, my Twitter, and we'll go from there. All right. Now do it. All right, I am going to the house to play some horses. Saturday to opening day. Their second race starts in about 10 minutes. Thank you all for joining me today as we continue on this NFL journey. I told you in August what I was going to do, and I've done it. We've had a profitable year. Congrats to everybody who jumped on board from the start. If you didn't, hang in there. Don't go away. We'll be just fine. Tonight, Ohio State Clemson, the game of the year. Looking forward to that game. Got Oklahoma, LSU in the afternoon. We got opening day LSU. Tomorrow, a full slate of NFL football to end the regular season. Next week, the playoffs start. I'm excited. I love this time of year. I hope you all had a great Christmas. Hope you all enjoy your New Year's Eve. Have a safe and happy and fun New Year's Eve, all of you. And as always, I'm going to let Mark Knopfler and his crew take us out of here with another song that's in my top 10 on a desert island. You can add this one too. I'll listen to this one too. Boston, Dire Straits. You're not going to find any Drake on that list. You're not going to find any Post Malone. Any of that other garbage that some of you bastards like to listen to. They featured some of that crappy music in Uncut Gems last night. I don't get it, but maybe that's just because I'm an old bastard. Or maybe it's just because I enjoy listening to quality music from talented artists like Mark Knopfler. Whatever the case, have a great week, great New Year's Eve, and I will see you next weekend. Have a great day.
Saving it up Friday night with the Sultans, of swing. Then a crowd of young boys, they're fooling around in the corner. Drunk and dressed in their best brown baggies in their platform soles. They don't give a damn about any trumpet playing band. It ain't what they call rock and roll. And the Sultans, yeah, the Sultans, they play Creole. Creole. are the Sultans. We are the Sultans.